some time and I have looked through all of the looks for the majority of shows that showed during Fall Winter 2024 Fashion Week, and I've gone through and decided which looks, products, collections I think are fantastic, maybe even worth saving your hard-earned money for when they come out later on this year. And on the other hand, which pieces gave me such a visceral reaction that I felt the need to come on here and tell you, don't you even bother. We've got everything from the big hitters, right? Your Louis Vuittons, your Gucci's, all of that, down to smaller, more emerging brands. Guys, if you're new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're going to love it here. So head on there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. Now I want to start off with a brand that was a very big dark horse for me. This is a brand that I'm not a Chloe girl. No, it's not my vibe. It's never really been my vibe. But it just might be for Fall Winter 2024. My gosh, this was one of those, like, for a debut show under a new creative director, Chimena Kamali, she knocked it out of the park. We got such a great insight into who the Chloe girl is, and the looks were giving. The product is great. We got that kind of boho vibe, very strong, but it's super feminine, super fun, and just fresh. It was a treat on the eyes, let me tell you. My favourite looks had to be, there was one nakedy kind of lace high-low dress that was worn with the boots. First of all, I loved that. Okay, something very sort of light and airy and delicate on the top, and then you have the contrast of this very sort of hard leather boot, right? The boot itself is not hard, but I'm telling, like, the contrast of the soft and the hard and all of that. I loved it. What a look, 10 out of 10. So, oh my gosh, floating through the streets? What an ethereal goddess you are. I thought there was particularly a pair of purple lensed sunglasses, great shape. I think that's an easy winner. I've never been a Chloe bag girl. I don't like the hoop of it. There's always like one bag that's just got a hoop that you carry it through, and it's like, what sort of Cirque du Soleil act are we engaging in here? There is one kind of multi-pocket slouchy bag that I think a lot of people will like. I think they showed it in a couple of sizes. It gives kind of Miu Miu's pocket bag vibes, but on a bigger scale, really, and slouchier. So I think that's going to do particularly well. And then there's a hobo bag style that has that sort of ring involved in it. That is probably going to do well too. Is it for me? No. Is it going to do well? Probably. You know, there was a time when Chloe bags ruled supreme. Can it happen again? It just might do. The boots are great. The like thigh-high boots, I thought the proportions were great. Just enough of a heel. Easy. One thing, not a fan of, those studded ballet flats with an ankle strap attached can die a slow and painful death. I don't like the toe of it. It's got a weird angle on it for absolutely no reason whatsoever. What's with that odd little heel? You know, either what are you trying to achieve here? Okay, give us something or nothing. What is that? What is that? And then it comes in a... No. And then you have the ankle strap as well, which is quite thick. It's not for me at all. But generally, the Chloe collection was excellent. Let's take a turn for the worst, Dior. At its best, it was boring. At its worst, it was giving counterfeit. Do not buy the Miss Dior items. The ready-to-wear is, like I said, the ready-to-wear that has the Miss Dior on it is just lazy, right? Okay, it's fine. It's like, you want a beige trench, if you want it to say Miss Dior painted on the side of it, fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. They're boring, they don't make you feel anything, there's no magic in it, but, you know, they do a job and you want it to say Miss Dior, fine. The bags are atrocious. They really are. It's giving straight to outlet. It's giving outlet special vibes. It's giving DKNY found at TK Maxx. You know, and there's a time and a place for that, but that time and the place is not Dior. What is going on? The buckle that says Miss Dior for what? It's giving free gift with purchase. You were at the Dior beauty counter and they were like, oh, if you buy a 50ml and you also buy a lipstick, you can get this cute little purse. Wonderful for that. I'll take a freebie any day. I don't need to be paying 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 or whatever it is that they're going to charge this at for the same thing. That was just sledgehammer to the head for me, truly. That was, why? For what? Also, there's a really, really sad pair of slouchy boots. Pirates of the Caribbean are not in a cool way that we will see later on in this video. The next piece is something that I've spoken about again, and at any opportunity, more than happy to speak about it. So I'm taking it now. The Hermes shoulder birkin. We know that they released this for spring-summer 2024, for winter 2023? I can't remember. But you know that the denim one is coming out. 2 sizes, 29, 39. Great. We are now seeing what I don't actually know if it is classified as a shoulder birkin or if it's going to be like an east-west birkin. I need to know measurements, I need to know proportions, everything. But they're carrying that on for fall-winter 2024. What this does tell us is that the east-west vibe is going strong. You know I love it, did a whole video about it. I'm very passionate about the east-west bags. So, but like I've mentioned before, if you want to get a good deal, now is the time to. A lot of pre-loved sites have got the shoulder birkin on there, you know, the original Jean-Paul Gaultier designed one, for pretty, I'm going to say decent prices, under 10 grand. 10 grand is a lot of money, but I'm saying in the realms of Hermes, that is shockingly a deal, I know, okay? But I'm just saying, if you're in the market for that, now is the time to go ahead on pre-loved sites and pull the trigger, because you can get some really great deals. Then there was McQueen. I cannot sit here and do a play-by-play breakdown and go into the ins and outs of it. It was sad to me. It felt lackluster. It felt very Loewe, J.W. Anderson-y, which is of course Sean McGear's background. However, go to J.W. Anderson, go to Loewe. You know, we don't need this from another brand. Anyway, now speaking of Loewe, they had some bags down the runway, current styles, that were really beautifully, intricately beaded. You know, the beading is done in such a way that it looks like little tapestries on these bags, and I really, really thought that they stood out and they were really beautifully done. In terms of ready to wear, there was one shirt that I thought was really, really clever, and this is the, I'm just going to call it the buckle shirt. It's this very sort of oversized, slouchy, draped shirt, sort of cropped length, and cinched is not the word, but there's a buckle that sort of is floating, giving everything a little bit of body in a really interesting way. The fact that it's also seemingly done in suede, it just looks luxurious. You know, you want to do that to it, okay? And shout out to the ready wear that makes you want to do this, okay? I want to interact with it, I want to be tactile with it. On the negative side of Loewe, the dog dress. Not so much the shape of the dress, fine, take it or leave it. It was more, and I'm sure that this is a famous piece of art. I'm not an art historian, I really just know the big names. And I think I've seen this dog before. It's got a face on a face. It's like, why, unless maybe you're a big art fan and you're like, oh, this one painting of the dog really hits home, might you value this dress? Otherwise, it's like, why do you want this double-faced dog on your dress? What? Anyway. Oh, and the boots were really sad. There's a lot of very sad shoes knocking around. Sad is the only way I can describe it, because they're not quite as bad as being ugly, but they're just like, oh, so much potential lost. And that's how I feel about those boots. There's just like, this is, you know, 2011 Topshop, that. But you've just done it in Python. Now, speaking on some boots that I can get behind, Acne Studios. I do believe that these are boots. If these are in fact just a pair of socks and sandals, Acne Studios, if this ever crosses your eyes, please turn these into like a one thing, like a one item, please, because I think it would be great. So you've got these little strappy sandals that look like they have these knee-high socks. The thing that makes me think that they are integrated is that they also do have a tiny little leather buckle that goes around the top of the sock that makes it feel more shoe-like and less sock-like. Stick with me. And I just thought it looked cool. I liked the styling of it. I like it with a mini dress. You can wear this under a pair of trousers or whatever, even like a tailored short. I just liked it. And then I also liked that they were doing a sort of like really nice aqua blue patterned version. You know, some people are very against the socks and the sandals. I think that it depends how you do it. If we're talking about the Birkenstock, you know. But if you're talking about like a heeled sandal, okay, with the right sock, we can really kill it. And it's like the continuation, the sock is the same as the shoe, all of that. There's like not too much contrast. I really like it. We know I love Schiaparelli. Daniel Rosebery, a man after my own heart. But, shockingly, we also know that I love bags. How have I not got a Schiaparelli bag? I know. None of them have really sung to me. Until this season, there's two great styles. They've got a style that's like a little flap bag, except, but you have that sort of pochette top handle hold of it. It seems that there is the keyhole version and a little face version, but that face version also does seem to be in like a Himalayan croc of sorts, so I don't have the points for that. But I just really liked that. I thought it was like a nice, clean, little, cute Schiaparelli pop of a bag. And then they also are doing the little face mini tote in a TBE, little snack-sized princess of a bag in a silver. What? Just that tiny little... Oh, that's very me. That is very me. Just the tiniest of faces looking at you as she walks past. The shoes were good as well, actually. They're good in a weird way. I don't know if I could like commit to buying them. They're the tape measure sandals that have like the tape measure wrapped around the back. It's the curly heel that I'm a bit like, oh, hold on, I'm not quite there yet. But then if I saw somebody wearing these, I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's kill it. I don't know. So I like them. Yeah, I think I like them. Let's talk about a brand that is widely underrated and is only associated with one season, Missoni. Missoni you think of when you're like, oh, I'm going on a spring-summer holiday. I want a nice little beach cover-up or I want a bikini. Let's get those little Missoni knitted chevrons out. That is the only thing you think of when you think of Missoni, let's not lie. Missoni's collection this time is great. Really, really great. Really interesting. I loved the stripes and I'm not a stripy gal. Polka dots, I'm usually out. Stripes, most of the time I'm out. Like, it has to be a very specific stripe. It can't be too thick, whatever. Anyway. These stripes I can get behind. They also had these sort of like leggingsy panta boots with the stripes that I liked. Practicality wise, it's a bit of a weird one to add to the wardrobe, isn't it? There's a lot of commitment to the shoe slash trouser. Need more details on that, but undeniably they looked so cool. With the tailored maxi skirt, killing it. The top to toe striped looks. There was an amazing coat that had like the stripes and like a shearling aspect, and it sort of looked a little bit patchworky. Incredible, such a statement. I just really saw this collection. I was like, hold on a second. Why have I heard silence? It's great. It's statementy. It also felt very wearable to me, and I thought it was a great one. Gucci, this is the second collection under new creative director Sabato De Sarno, and you know that I've struggled. It's been a transition for me. But this collection was better than the last, and the shoes were good. However, I have questions. There is a over-the-knee, like thigh-high pair of riding boots. Shall we describe them as such? My issue is, are they going to look great in person, or are they going to look like waders? And, you know, shout out to the fishermen. I've not really once looked at your uniforms and gone, those boots might be a winner. You know, I'm just being honest there. So I don't know about how those are going to translate in person on, you know, an average leg. But the platform slingback loafers. Check me out now. Add to sodding cart now. The pitch of the shoe, the proportion of the platform to the heel, the thickness of the heel, everything, the fact that it was a slingback, everything was perfect. 10 out of 10 on execution. I feel very passionately about these. Okay, I saw these and I was like, yes. I also like this in the debossed GG. Of course you know I do. They're doing these in croc. Really great croc colour in that like glorious blue. Wonderful. Once again, that's going to be out of my price range. So I will take the debossed. Thank you. We'll see what colours they launch in when that happens. But I 100%, these are very me. Oh, this is a great shoe. In terms of bags, they're doing this sort of puffy flat bag that is fine. It's got the GG's debossed in it. What's that? Yeah, they've used the Marmont GG once again, and that's upset me because you know that I have beef with that logo. I know. It's weird to have beef with a logo, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, okay? I don't know why it's got pointy little ends. Nobody asked for it, but anyway. That's my issue with that. Great colours though, it's like a really juicy green. But I do like the little bamboo tote. She's a little bit more under the radar. I think it just has like a zip across the top, a nice little sort of buckety shape, and its little bamboo handles. I like the size of it, I think it's great. You know, I love the green, of course. There was also a really great navy blue jacket that was raining sequins and crystals and glittery things, and it's great. However, I don't even want to know the price. What is it? So we've gone from a great pair of shoes to what is this sort of hoof-like fascination? Because Balmain clothes-wise were great, some really great pieces in there. The shoes, the proportions are off. Why is the platform so big against a stiletto? And like not in a sort of like pseudo stripper heely way, because there's a good way to do it. Again, it looked hoof-like. It was like if a horse was wearing heels, these were the heels that they would wear. You know, it sort of looks like that, and I don't think it's nice. It looks cumbersome, whereas the Gucci ones don't look cumbersome. There are such fine details in the worlds of platforms that apparently I feel very strongly about. You know, I like the transparent trousers at Diesel. They've done this for a couple of seasons now, and I just think that they're interesting. I'm really appreciating a statement trouser at the moment, maybe because I don't have any. So I think that it's done quite well. Diesel isn't for everybody. I think it's cool. I'm like, you know, I haven't really seen this around. I'm a fan of that. Now on this note, great pair of jeans by LouLou. This was modelled on a man. Really hope it comes in a size that at least I can tailor it or whatever. Great pair of jeans, and then you've got these sort of printed landmarks on it. So there's like the Flatiron Building in New York and so on and so forth. It's got the LouLou script. It's an easy statement pair of jeans that you just put on a t-shirt and go, and it looks cool. It's like, oh, hold on a second. I like what you've done with the place. You do that with a white shirt and a heel? Oh my gosh, she's the coolest woman that's walked into the room. So I really like those. I want to see more of a statement jean, like in that way. Like I want to see more of a statement printed jean. While actually we're on jeans, MM6 Maison Margiela did colourful denim. So there was a yellow one, there was a green one. But again, I'm kind of enjoying this, putting a fun twist on a very well-known wardrobe basics, and also the way that they styled it in such a sharp way. It wasn't styled in a overly casual or like an overly, you know, you have to commit to a fun look way. I don't know, if you were to sort of think of coloured denim, you wouldn't ever sort of use that word to describe it, but I really liked these. Maison Margiela jeans, people rave about, so these were also a good one to sort of keep your eye out for if this is something that you'd like. Now, Dilara Findicoglu, I like her, I'm a fan. Does she have the most wearable stuff? No, but there were two looks in particular from her collection that for some reason I'm very kind of like, I'm like hyper focused on those two. There's a white one and a black one. The white one is giving pirate wench, Victorian concubine. So you've got this top, it's sort of open in the centre, you know, with the titties and all of that, and then you have this sort of capri style, what would be underpants in the 1800s, short. And I just kind of liked it. It's sort of Vivienne Westwoody without being on the nose Vivienne Westwoody, and just sort of being of that sort of Victorian inspired time frame. But the black version of this is a little bit more wearable. Really great, nipped in at the waist, nylon bomber jacket. Great volume, great shape, matched with like a very tight to the body, similar sort of capri trouser. And I was like, oh my gosh, that full look is great. I like what she's doing. I think she's brilliant. Prada accessories were really something. Okay, so we've got these feathered hats. I'm sort of against hats. I'm not against hats. Generally, I personally have not met a hat that I suit. That's a personal issue. They've done these sort of feather-wrapped hats that, no, I don't see anybody, not even Zendaya, popping this on the top of her head could convince me. It's just like, there's also a lot of sort of space there. It's like, why would we want to elongate the head? You know, it makes you look like there's a lot of head under there to then house under this hat. Anyway, so that's that. I'm not a fan of that one. Not a fan of, again, quite sad looking little kitten heels. Giving nothing. The bags. You're like, oh yeah, Prada Galleria bag, we've seen this. You know, what's wrong with it? Nothing wrong with the bag. What is this odd little arm attachment that has been sort of put on the side that we're now carrying bags sort of hanging down from the elbow? What is that? That's not an easy way to hold something. That's not helping. That's a hindrance. No, I know that we're doing like the bag customization and we're, you know, like doing bag charms and all of that, and that I can get behind. But this one, I'm like, did we need to make it a wristlet? A wristlet for an evening bag, you know, there's not much in there, it's light. A wristlet for a day bag, my gosh, what are you trying to do to me? Tolu Coca summer dresses. Although this is fall winter 2024, we need these dresses now, two in particular. There is a blue cotton pinstriped dress that sort of has trousers that match. The whole look was 10 out of 10. It has a sort of corset detail. It looks beautiful. That with a heel, that with a flip-flop, that with anything. Full look, done in the summer, absolutely killing it on your holidays. And then for a mini dress version, you know, I like this one, little safari moment, okay, with the beige cotton, again, we're nipping in at the waist, corset detailing, thank you. We've got a bubble sleeve there, love that, with the collar. Execution was brilliant, really great, easy pieces that do all the work for you. You're just like, great, slip me on some sandals and I'm good to go, and I look $1 million. Hello, thank you very much. I am obsessed with Wiederhoft. Is it Wiederhoft? Is it Wiederhoft? I've never studied German. Any and all suggestions will be welcomed, please. I love the brand. Oh, can we talk about this midi dress that's got like crystal corset detail, low slung belt detail on this sort of wool midi dress. The contrast of the crystals with like this wool material, loved it. There's also a fabulous crystal mini dress with a slit up the side with the matching gloves, wonderful. But there is one look that hit me in a place so deep in my soul that was like, this is a style that like I was obsessed with as a teenager all the way through to this day still. Glorious corset, doing all of that on the waist, paired with these boxer shorts, like boxing shorts that say custom across it. That, I was like, stop, the juxtaposition of something super feminine with something super masculine. It's like, what? Love that. And then there was the jacket. The jacket's 10 out of 10. Here's what I need. I need that jacket pronto. The corset, let's throw that in while we're there. I want them to be stocked in more places. That's my only beef with them, because I think that they only sort of have their own website and then it's like not everything on there. Let's get some stockists going, please, because I would like to buy. Mob Wife Who? This Coperni black faux fur floor length coat with belt that is green dipped. It's got green ombre on the arms and on the bottom of the coat. Give this woman what she wants. If you see somebody wearing this coat, swanning around, whatever they ask, the answer is yes. Can I? Yes. Do you? Yes. Is this free? 100%. It means business. Miu Miu, a lot of like big fashion critics were raving about Miu Miu. I mean, Miu Miu's having a moment, all of that. The gloves, however, are we just skirting over the leather Miu Miu gloves that look suspiciously similar to the yellow rubber marigold gloves that are under my sink? I've never been washing up and gone, what if I keep these on? Let's end on Louis Vuitton. Nicolas Ghesquier's 10th anniversary with the house. And, you know, I've said my things that I've got to say about the designs or whatever. There was one look that I really liked, which was like a trunk print. It was a little sleeveless top, matching structured skirt. And I was like, I like that, okay? I see what you're doing, and I'm a fan. In terms of the bags, there is a hybrid bag that's like, the front of it is the trunk of like a petit mal, and the back of it is soft in like a coat of canvas. This should now theoretically be like half the price of the petit mal, but you still get the vibe of the petit mal, but maybe with a little bit more ease and ability to be casual with the canvas side, and you can also put way more in because the petit mal is notoriously restrictive because then a sodding tiny trunk. So I thought that that's good, and that's a good bag to look out for. Let me know what you thought, let me know what were your faves and worsts and all of that. I'm going to leave a link to another video over here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are, and in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.